Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of Rhythm and Wit, the podcast and video series where we explore and discuss the creative and artistic expressions of artists and performers in Oklahoma City and its neighboring cities, also referred to once by the chief meteorologist, Mike Morgan, as the greater metro area.
And how about Saturday? Yes, more sunshine. Great to live in Oklahoma. South winds 12 to 20.
My name is David Steele. I am a bass player, a music producer, a graphic designer, a photographer, and a film hobbyist. My co-host is Nicholas Campbell. Nick is a stand-up comedian, a singer, songwriter, guitar player, electrical contractor, a husband, a father, and my best friend for almost 25 years. In today's episode, we take a look back at the first 9 episodes of Rhythm and Wit with Dave and Nick. We've had some great conversations about art and creativity, and we like to thank our special guests, Liz Campbell and Elle Prather, for coming over and talking to us about their art. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and podcast feeds to keep up with new episodes that drop every Friday. We hope you enjoy today's special episode, as we greatly appreciate your time and attention.
Watch carefully. 5, 4, 3.
You didn't say 2 or 1.
Oh, you don't say 2 or 1.
Why not?
You just don't. Okay? Now, it goes...
And 5, 4, 3. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rhythm and Wit with me, David Steele, and
me, Nick Campbell.
in this podcast and video series, we will discuss and explore the creative and artistic expressions of artists and performers in Oklahoma City and its neighboring cities, also known as the greater metro area by some. The greater metro area. Greatest metro area. Greater metro area. Also once referred to as the greater metro area by a popular local rock band. Also known as the wider urban expanse, the greater metro area, and sometimes other cities, such as Denver, Colorado, also known as the greater metro area. The greater metro area. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Rhythm and Wit with me, David Steele.
And me, Nick Campbell. And then kind of just being in the ebb and flow of the music, I feel like that produces a better melody as far as vocals go, and you can get a real feel for what you're doing. Because whenever I'm doing, because other than that, I play my acoustic, or I play a guitar, and I'll just sing over it. As loud and as wrong as I can, and then eventually I'll find something I like, and then I'll go, okay, I like that, let me keep that piece, and then I'll just kind of keep doing that. But whenever you add it later to the entire band, it's going to change.
Right.
So there's one way. Then the other way is the shower. You just go off in the shower, and then you try to keep it in your brain until you can get to a guitar.
We all live in these little bubbles, and we just think, we have our friend groups, our families, and all of that, but I mean, there's like 500,000 people in this city. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, and our city's not very big, but it's getting bigger, and it's not as big as like Los Angeles or Chicago or any big city, even Dallas. But we're growing, and there's a lot of people out there that want they want to come out and support. I think it's so disconnected. We just need to connect, and that's another reason I want to put the time into this and do this kind of stuff, is to to help grow this community and connect us back together. I think we've been disconnected for obvious reasons over the past few years, but now's the time to build back better, to steal the words of a great president. You were the lead singer and songwriter of a band called Aliens versus Robots.
Some would say the best band on earth. Yeah.
That was from 2008 to 2012. Is that correct?
I thought it was like 2006.
Well, that's unofficial.
We played for 2 years in the garage, but that was our building time. That was our woodshedding.
Yeah.
But as far as Aliens versus Robots playing shows,
Right, yeah. That's what I always thought was our active years. Yeah, we were playing with our best friend named John Childress on the drums. Shout out to John.
Yeah, love you, bud.
Great drummer.
He's the best.
Very creative.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. We played together. We learned so much during that time.
We grew up since like 6th grade together. Mm-hmm. And so we knew each other really well, and we knew each other's influences really well. We liked the same kind of music. We traded the same kind of music. And so we didn't have to assimilate much. And I wasn't nervous around you guys because you were like brothers. I played in other bands, and nothing ever clicked like it did in that one.
Well, that's all I have for the weekend. I know you have some more specific things that you want to talk about for your comedy, so take it away, Nick.
Yeah, so some things I'm doing this week. I'm doing Wednesday night. I'm going to be stepping in for Leo Mendes at Grand Royale at the Plaza for the open mic. And then the next day, Thursday, I'll be hosting JJ's Alley, also stepping in for Leo Mendes. He's a busy man. So
sounds like Leo is dropping the ball a little bit.
Well, I mean, one of the things I like to say is
you're there to pick it up.
I'm there. Yeah. Well, I'm the step host. I'm not the host you want, but I'm the host you get.
You're the host we need right now. Actually, I take it all back. My favorite comedian is hands down like Jim Carrey. He's like,
oh, nice.
When I was a kid, like Ace Ventura, The Mask, those movies were, he was an inspiration to me in a way. I think he's probably one of the funniest people I've ever seen, to me personally. So it's like,
Will Ferrell.
But, Will Ferrell
guaranteed.
That was something that's a good transition into movies. I think comedy movies, like, that's something that we loved. Comedy, like watching these comedic films growing up. I remember we watched the crap out of The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite. Any Adam Sandler movie.
He's a great inspiration as far as comedy and music, and just a performer. I think Wedding Singer, Wayne's World. We watched the crap out of those.
Yeah, dude, that was a good one.
So many of these old movies.
You're missing one, man. Yeah. You're missing like the one I know you by.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? What is it?
A Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, dude, that was the jam, man. That was my favorite one.
My first ever screen name when I was probably like maybe 12 years old. We were probably, AOL was just popping off, but it was inspired by A Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, and the screen name was Club Hopper 05. And I was literally like 13 years old. I didn't know, only thing I knew about clubs were from that movie.
Yeah, dude.
But it was inspiring to me. I don't know. I loved it. And so, that's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time, for sure.
So that's a really good open mic to go to try stuff that you want to know and see if it works. Mm-hmm. There's open mics like JJ's Alley, and this previous show I boosted $75 just to see.
Yeah.
And we saw nothing.
Yeah, so you gotta find the sweet spot.
Well, that event was there, but also it's like there's a point of diminishing returns.
Right. Yeah,
I think it's about $15 to $25. Mm-hmm. Try to talk. Get the venue to talk about it, have them be proud about it, so that the people know when you're coming in too. That's a big part. I think is when you show up and maybe everybody didn't realize, and it feels like an ambush show. Like, but if the bar is telling everybody all throughout the week, hey man, we got this cool thing going on Friday, then a lot of times people are ready for it, and then you won't have a lot of people talking over it, or you definitely have people paying more attention.
Yeah, by sending video, and that's what I'll use in the emails that I send out to venues is, you know, introduce yourself, say what you're wanting to do, and then, by the way, here's our last performance at this venue that you might have heard of. And then I think that really, really helps people see that, okay, well, if these guys have played at the Blue Note, then the Blue Note took a chance on them, so that means they must be, you know, they're worth taking a chance on. So I think that's really important in convincing somebody to book your band.
And that's where you get street cred from.
Yeah.
Right
I mean, yeah, it's I think that it's just, that's the more direction I've been approaching things with, is just actually meeting people and face-to-face interactions. I mean, that's what it, you know, people are gonna, if people know you from Facebook or Instagram and they've never really interacted with you, they're much less likely to care about what you've got going on. Whereas if you've talked to them and joked around with them and hung out and had conversations, they're obviously going to be more invested in what you're doing. And so I think that's something that, especially as creatives, we're very introverted a lot of times. So it's hard to get out and socialize. But the news is going to be looking for something. You have to find the angle. They want that angle that's like, what's special about this, you know? And if you're doing something for the community or doing a fundraiser of any kind, I mean, they're going to be much, much more interested in covering it. So, I mean, if you really want to be on the news and you have an event, I mean, try to figure out a way to tie in a benefit, you know, donate all the proceeds or a portion of the proceeds to a charity. I mean, then they're definitely going to be interested in talking to you, or much more interested in talking to you about that. But as far as the inspiration goes, I mean, I guess my parents did always allow me to express myself in however I wanted to, and they were always supportive of, you know, if I wanted to have long hair when I was, you know, teenager. I guess how old were you? I was probably 14, 15, and I had hair down to my shoulders.
Yeah, something else that now that I'm watching it in that way, it's like holding on to sand. I feel like if you're sitting there picking stuff apart, you don't even get the full idea of it. You're just like, all right, man, like, you're just like trying to grasp what's important there. And a lot of times it's not even the act or the thing that's important. It's the expression. It's this moment in time doing this thing, you know? As far as inspiring, I like having a buddy. Like I have a writing buddy. His name is Leo Mendes.
Yeah.
We try to write every week, but you know, life.
You're just like, well, I don't know, this is good. It's like, it sounds good to me, but it's like, there's stuff in here that I think that could be better, but you don't know. Maybe you've been doing it a long time, and you kind of get into that where it's like hard to see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. But he's like, man, I can't get my pinky to make this sound right. And I was like, well, you got to adjust your pressure, right? And so how do you do that? You just practice doing it over and over again. And he's like, yeah, but it's really boring. I was like, but that's the broccoli, you know? Like, that's what you got to eat to get better. And so it's just, and he wants to practice, like, you know, he practices once a week. It's like, well, this is a daily process. And then you can also make other connections from your mind map, because the other things will make connections to the other bubbles. And so that's a great way, like if you're writing jokes, to find your way in and out of different bits.
Right, yeah, that's a good idea. So how would you start, like, if nobody's ever heard of a mind map, or like me?
A mind map is some stuff you have to do when you're in school that you don't ever think you're going to ever use again. Yeah, and it's just a bubble. Like, say you pick a topic, like music as an example, throw that right in the middle, and then you go, what's my favorite music? And you draw a little line, and then you go, 2000s indie rock. Boom.
The best music.
The best ever,
also.
really.
No.
Yeah, it hasn't anything. Nothing's been made better since. So. But then that could branch off. Well, why do I like this? So you do another little bubble, because I'm very. I was an emo kid, and I found a better place to go, which was indie music. No, but I, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe you list the bands or maybe you list, you know, different things.
So it's kind of like a web, and it stretches out kind of from idea to idea and just...
Stephen Pressfield makes the Art of War.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, the War of Art.
Yeah,
that one.
Because the other book, it's too thick. I don't know.
That's Sun Tzu, completely different thing.
I don't know. Could be an idea for us.
I got another one that I mess with. I got a couple of stories. I liked anything that deals with time.
Yeah.
So I had this story where and then I've got another one. It's a kid's book. That one was a little darker. It's like I follow my senses. I follow like it's weird how to explain it, but you just kind of like go towards the things that you are like popping up at you. I like to think of it like, you know how like a football player throws you know, when you're first starting out, you're learning how to throw the spiral, where you put your arm, you know.
Yeah,
and you're
because
like,
we both know a lot about football.
Yeah, it's the only football reference I'm gonna do. It's like, and
Like I know exactly what you're talking about. Of course, I know how to throw a spiral.
You've ever driven at night from state to state and watched truckers just swerve on the road? I mean, not all of them, right? But there's it's been every time I've done it.
Right.
It's been
every time you've had to drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah. Immediately off the road. That's just me being a bad driver. Writing in groups. That was the other thing. I write with Leo Mendes. He's a comedian here in OKC, and I've only ever seen sharing the information be the best way to go. Yeah. Personally,
if you hold something,
but it is a fear. It's based out of fear that you're going to lose. But that's how you delegate. That's how we all get good. What's it called?
Yeah,
rising tide raises all ships. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's right. Welcome, Liz Campbell.
My wife. That's this.
Welcome to me. I think if I had to label myself, creativity influencer would be my label. I like to make things and I like to inspire other people to explore their own creativity and make their own things.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's a good That's what I do.
And
I thought it was just a bunch of stuff in our house, but it has a purpose.
It is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a reason for this?
There's so much stuff.
Yes. But it's awesome.
I own everything.
Yeah.
Great.
So a hyperfixation, that's why when I'm hyperfixated, I don't notice what's going on around me, because when I am not in a hyper-focused state, everything around me, like this buzzing that's happening back here, it's very faint, but I hear it, you know? Like, you don't have to turn, I'm just saying. Like, I just hear that stuff all of the time, so I'm constantly taking in all of the other sensory until I can fixate.
I think, that's great to hear. Sorry,
no, it's quiet now.
It threw me off.
I didn't even realize it was.
I didn't either. And then it's like, well, it's probably ruining my sound. So thank you, because it wasn't serving a purpose. I just wanted to turn on the light.
Can you come over and just check?
Just hear all of
sound?
the.
I think
I can do that.
That's something
I hear them all.
You know. I got to visit Convergence Station in Denver. It was one of the most incredible experiences I have had at an art museum or installation of any kind. There are often compliments that stick with you, I think. Yeah. That certain people will say something and you really admire that person for whatever it is, and they say they really like the thing that you did. Like, that keeps me going a lot of the times.
Well, one of my teachers when I was growing up told me I looked good in a button-up, and that's all I wear now.
Especially if it was like a cute girl or whatever.
Yeah. During the COVID, I mean, just us trying to leave the house, you remember? Like, and then before then, I had kids, so I wasn't leaving the house anyways. I had this, like, years of just unpracticed socializing.
When you don't socialize, you lose it.
Then
put some of yourself into it. I like when I reshare stuff. I've been doing a lot lately on stories, but I like the gifts search section, because you get to add a little bit of something of yourself to it and just be, just whatever you find on there that you like, you just like, it doesn't matter because they're all just silly and dumb, but they're just adding a little bit of what your personality to that.
Yeah, just have
post.
fun. Yeah, have fun with it. Right?
Yeah,
It's such a. You ever just like a high five? It's just a weird act. Slap hands as loud as you can.
Like I said, it's all, it's probably something about
But it
the
works.
sound, but it's the touch. I think it's anyways.
Yeah, we did this together.
So.
Yeah, I love a good crisp high five. Yeah.
So every Wednesday, doors at 7. Show starts at 7:30. Hosted by Christy Boone again.
Mm-hmm. And she's really stepping up again too. She used to run the VZD's mic
Okay,
before VZD sold.
Yeah, that one was always one that I knew about because they had been doing it forever. So anyways, that one's gone. Don't go to VZD.
Don't go to VZD.
You can't.
Well, it's not there. You can give it a shot, but I don't think so. It's JJ's Alley open mic, and that's also hosted by Leo Mendes. And sometimes, if I'm lucky and Leo is sick or bored, he'll let me host too, which is really great. But yeah, that one's sign up is at 7:30, show at 8. Usually get 3 to 5 minutes on that one, so it's a good one. Not bad, I don't think so.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, but this is one ran by Leo Mendes. This guy's always doing work.
He's got the mics.
Yeah, talk about a guy that networks.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is always putting in for the community. He's always doing good work. I write with him. I try to write with him every week. I mean, he's a good buddy of mine.
Happy Halloween, and welcome to episode 9 of Rhythm and Wit. Today's guest is Elle Prather. Elle is an artist, an illustrator, and someone who is obsessed with horror.
I just want to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. I won't be speaking about my music career today, guys. This really is just focusing on my visual art.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you don't want to talk about your lip syncing at all?
Debatable.
Okay. Let's see where we get.
Well, I had a question about that. I'll have to scratch that one.
I've done my penance.
So,
Yeah.
if I was a comic, it's like, this is my life. This is my view of the world. And I think that the more I watch comedians, it's like the more I fall in love with them in a way, because you learn more about them. I mean, just start to, knowing.
It's very personal.
Oh, we're being visited by... it's the evil werewolf contractor.
Sorry guys, I didn't want to bring this up.
Is it a full moon?
But the foundation here is pretty terrible.
I've got a few. I ran some numbers for you.
I just wanted to make sure I got my costume in. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I think.
I did farmer here for Dave of the Dead. And then I did construction worker, which was just me putting on my work clothes.
Oh yeah. I don't really like dressing up that much either.
Really?
No, I hate dressing up in costumes, especially for Halloween. It's like, I have to like go out and look for stuff, and I have to put it on, and then I have to pretend to be somebody else all day. Oh my gosh, what a terrible thing.
You gotta go with the mask. You gotta go with the mask.
I fucking love Halloween.
Yeah.
I fucking love Halloween. I dress up to sit at home. I've actually so Weird Al, I think, is my favorite one of like the past few years, because I literally just put a mustache on. I used my eyeliner to make a mustache. I already had Weird Al hair at the time. I had the glasses. I borrowed my husband Ryan's shirt and like just went to the party. Perfect. And it was such a hit. Like I looked like Weird Al.
That's perfect.
It's great whenever you can hit it and people know immediately.
Yeah.
But that was probably my favorite costume. I think and probably the best costume I've ever done. So
when he started playing, he actually went pantsless, like the.
I had to go buy tidy whities from Walmart
But it was like he came out of the room to do the show, and I was like, there he is.
No,
That's
one of those ideas.
He looked just like
I
love it.
I had that thought because I knew I was going to do the costume, and I was like driving one day, and I was like, I had that thought. I was like, oh crap! Now I have to do this. Like I can't chicken out. It's like I already thought of it, so now I have to do it.
I can't. I'm gonna bully myself if I don't do
It's
it.
like if I don't do it, I will be mad at myself.
Yeah, it takes balls,
Yeah.
and they were right there.
It was hilarious.
We all whole song.
It was so funny.
Put all my hair up, slicked it down into a bald cap, and I painted the bald cap to look like Drake's fade, his real low cut fade, and like I even took a little Q-tip and cleaned through it for like that little that barber line, yes. And was Drake from Hotline Bling, like that music video.
See, that's a great costume.
And it was last minute. Yeah, it was a great costume. I will say it was a great costume. I did a little bit. I wasn't good at it, but I sure did.
Neither was Drake, so you're good.
I picked somebody who doesn't dance for a reason. Not this year. I'm dancing tonight.
One last thing. If you have any questions or anything that you want to talk to us about, or topics maybe, or anything, email us. We have an email account at rhythmandwit@gmail.com. rhythmandwit@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. rhythmandwit@gmail.com. So send us an email. Also, don't forget, email us at rhythmandwit@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. rhythmandwit@gmail.com. Hit us up. We love to hear from you. rhythmandwit@gmail.com. rhythmandwit@gmail.com. The lines are open. We hope you all stay tuned and you're enjoying and learning something, and we're excited. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks again, and we hope to see you for the next one.
Thanks, guys. I think that's it, but thanks, guys. See you later.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Thanks so much for everything. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Peace. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching. We still don't have a good outro. So.
No, but here it is.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks for watching. Everyone have a great day. Peace. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. That's it. So guess
get out of here.
We're gonna get
done.
Goodbye.
Oh, is it getting spooky in here?
All right. Bye,
Awesome.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm an electrical contractor. My favorite day is when I got my first van. And I know it's supposed to be when your kids are born, but my van wasn't a happy accident, you know? Some people got some happy accidents out there. But
Thank you for watching today's clip show. I'd like to shout out some upcoming events this weekend. My friends at Mycelium Gallery are having an event this Saturday. Their seasonal shop, Ornaments and Adornments, will run from November 11th through January 1st. This Saturday, November 11th, is the opening show. So come out from 5 to 8 and check out some great ornaments and adornments made by local artists in Oklahoma City. Mycelium Gallery is located at 3120 West Britton Road in Oklahoma City, between May Avenue and Lake Hefner Parkway. Come out from 5 to 8 and check out a new local band called Good Wave, as well as a DJ set from Ex Machina. I hope to see you there.